Hey everybody, ShinNefzen here, your humble host as always, welcoming you to AD 2636 the game. Now, it's week one of the Let's Play Summer Olympic Summer Blockbuster Phantasmic Orgasmatron games. We're playing Contra 3 The Alien Wars for the first week, keeping in line with doing Contra for week one competitions. The LPO is broken my previous resolution to only do live commentary. The fall games I had to do posts for a couple of videos, and I decided to do post commentary for this. Got over 400 some odd videos, and I think I've done 3 in post commentary. The main reason for that is so I can actually, focus on this. Contra's hard enough, and nice cheap shot there to start with. Contra's hard enough without having to, think of stuff to talk about on the fly. So I decided to go easy on myself week one and do this in post. And this is my first time playing this game in probably about a year. As usual, I didn't do any practice runs, because why do that? It's far more entertaining when I can just blatantly fail, which honestly takes me a little while to do in this video. Happily enough, I normally am just god awful at Contra games when I haven't played them in a while, but it takes a little bit for that to kick in this time. Here we have our first mini boss, which was the boss of the first stage of the original Contra. Just the basic wall boss. He's no big deal. You can just shoot the core to take him on outright. Here we have a big tank, and I just don't understand why enemies want to run at me while I'm driving an 80-ton mega power beast tank, but whatever. It takes out the second mini boss in one shot, so it's all good. This was the first Contra game where you could pretty much dual wield weapons. As you can see up on the left there, you have the 1 and the 2 slot. If you die, you only use the weapon you have currently equipped. So if you're about to eat it, try to switch to your other slot if you're using a weapon like you really like the spread shot. Of course, I have the laser equipped, the much-aligned laser. In the last few Contra games, lots of controversy of its total worth. Most people on the side of the fence saying it's trash, but in this game, I definitely think it makes up for some of its shortcomings. In that holding down the fire button doesn't absolutely gimp it. Now, the C weapon here are basically like rocket-propelled grenades. Not my favorite weapon. They're pretty powerful, but I don't know. I've just never gotten really along with that weapon in this game or any of the other Contra games they're in. I currently got the homing weapon equipped. It's very useful against foot soldiers. Not so much against bosses because cheap fireballs take you out, but the homing missiles per shot are very weak. So now that I lost my homing weapon, I need to take it easy here, and of course I'm just getting swallowed by the flames. Normally I'm a little less conservative in this section here, but since I just lost 2 lives, I decided to take it a little bit easier. Take these things out. Get my spread shot, the best weapon ever. Holding L and R, you can basically do a full screen attack with whichever weapons you have equipped, and having dual spread shot equipped is very amusing. Definitely takes out a screen full of enemies in a hurry. Now here we have our first appearance of the turtle boss. We would later see him in Contra the Alien Wars for the Game Boy, as well as Contra Shattered Soldier in the PS2, where he was far more disturbing. As usual, aim for the big glowing heart and everything will be okay. And I make some fantastic mistakes in this fight, mostly timing, and getting hit by that odd little shot that his heart shoots out. I think that's what kills me every time in this fight. By every time, I mean once more, because then I'd have a game over. Yeah, tried to jump over the thing, but giant nuclear death beam. And killing the turtle causes him to violently hump the ground, and we can continue on. Now, heading on to stage 2, I complained about this in the last Contra game when we did the fall games that I am not a fan of the overhead stages. And I need to explain this real quick. I kind of just stand still for like 10 seconds here and just let myself get eaten. The reason I did that is when the map started to zoom in, I accidentally tapped the fast forward button. So just to make up for it, I just stood still for like 10 seconds, let the guy eat me, just so, it evened out. Okay, so we're going to go back here and start up in this corner. I kind of like starting up in one of the corners. You can start pretty much anywhere on this map. I prefer the corners. It kind of makes it easier to plot a clear path. But like I was saying, the overhead stages, I have no idea what killed me. The overhead stages I've never been a fan of. The controls are always kind of weird. It takes away your ability to jump, for one thing, so you lose your primary defensive tool, your primary evasion ability. And aside from that, it's kind of just like a poor man's bullet hell shooter getting through these sections. And we fall into a bottomless pit. Now the objective on the second map here is to kill all of these little nodes that these guys are guarding, and once you destroy the last one, it teleports you to the guard, so it doesn't matter what order you go in, it just matters that you destroy them all. Obviously you want to avoid the landmines here. Each of the guards has a different pattern, like he's doing spiral shots. Some of them will just shoot right at you with a machine gun. Some of them have tougher to dodge patterns than others. Flamethrower I find to be a fantastic weapon in this game. It's very good at hitting narrow weak spots like the mini-boss in the next stage. This is perhaps the one instance where I really like this gun. Being that the overhead corridors give you a little room to maneuver, it also gives the enemy a little room to maneuver. So the powerful little explosions that this gun gives off can be pretty darn useful. Kind of got lost a little bit here. That threw me off, and this part annoyed me. I'm like, oh, I accidentally towed the line. Oh, I'm dead. This game is not very forgiving with minor mistakes. At this point, I'm just trying to be a little bit cautious because I know this is the last guy. This boss is big, but he's not particularly difficult, so I knew as long as I could get to him with one life remaining, it wouldn't be an issue. Just to be on the safe side, I used both of my smart bombs to help take out his legs. At this point, it's just taking out those last two legs and his main gun, which, with the C gun, is pretty darn simple. Sadly, I'm unable to pick up any other guns as they fade out right when I get to them. But with his main gun broken off, the boss exposes his final weak point, and he starts just continually doing this hopping attack, trying to kill us, and the Super Nintendo trying to impress us with its Mode 7 effects. Thankfully, with a halfway powerful gun, you can just go straight through to the weak point, take him out in a couple hits, and that's that. And we're prepping on going to stage 3. This is the make it or break it stage for a lot of people when they're playing this game. It's certainly not an easy stage. It's 2 mini-bosses followed by a pretty rough boss fight. And since I died here, I'm like, I'm not going to make it, so I just suicide jump. Don't know why it takes so long for a Super Nintendo game to load, but there it is. Alright, now the important thing in this, for me at least, I'd say is to hold on to the flamethrower as much as you can, because it pretty much obliterates every mini-boss, and to an extent even the boss on this stage. Rushing through this part isn't a great idea, but there you have it pretty much. These little rolled up dudes can be kind of a pain, but they aren't invincible when they're rolled up like you might think, so they're not too hard to take down. This part, if you played Shattered Soldier on the PS2, will seem very familiar, as this part's taken pretty much for verbatim in that game. Flamethrower's great on these guys, takes them out real quick with a little problem. And once you reach the mini-boss, they all just drop dead. And this is why this mini-boss here, I hate fighting normally with the gun. With the flamethrower, he becomes incredibly easy because you can just chill up top and shoot him. I hate the game gives priority to grabbing onto the bars, which I really hate because I want to stay up top. So if you're trying to hang up top and a bar swings your way, you're going to automatically grab the bar and die cheap deaths like that. That is why I hate the bars. And now I lose my flamethrower because I unexpectedly died. Like, honestly, like, my character's an idiot. He's like, oh, it's exploding, better jump on top of him now. Now, this mini-boss is tedious more than anything because he's invulnerable on the trip up until the fight starts proper. So it's just a matter of staying alive until the fight starts, which is kind of annoying because this isn't a short climb. I mean, we're talking probably about close to 30 seconds of gameplay, and I've always hated bosses like that where there's basically like a lead-up period before you actually have to fight them. There's just no upside to a fight like that. It's either you live or you don't. I mean, there's no benefit to, playing well other than just surviving to get to the real fight. This guy's actually really easy with the flamethrower, but even if you're just using the regular gun, he's not that bad. But sadly, my timing is awful, and I'm low on lives, and that's not a good combination. Now, this run of lives, I think I just was overall just kind of irritated with what just happened. That cheap death at the first mini-boss. Because I know I could have killed the second mini-boss no problem with the flamethrower. So that cheap death at the first mini-boss kind of irritated me. So I'm kind of just trying to bull rush my way through this part at this point. With less than satisfactory results, as you can see. So at least I got my flamethrower still. I'm thinking about it in hindsight. I'm not sure why I didn't use smart bombs, but I'm going to try to do pretty much the same tactics here, except, once again, get caught up on the bar and I can't get back up. Fantastic game. And here, it's just such a pain trying to fight this boss with the main gun. And I'm on 0 lives, so I decided to suicide it. I have played every Contra game now that I think about it. Except for, I think I played all of them. And an Alien Wars will probably always be one of the better ones. I mean, not better in hardcore, but this is definitely one of the better ones. It's got a good mix of challenge. It's probably one of the more difficult stages overall, at least for me. And I'm kind of falling into the pitfalls again. I'm just kind of irritated at this point, making stupid mistakes. Although I still, having not played this game in a year, I think I did pretty decently for a 15-minute run. If I had actually had the time to practice this week, it probably would have gone a little better. Now here I am with this mini-boss again, and you can probably guess what's going to happen, as I've already said I hate fighting him with the main gun. Don't know why it didn't occur to me to use smart bombs for any of this. And I think it's this next swing by. Yeah, there we go. Smart bomb, I get some good shots in, but then I just... There we go. Get snagged by the drill. Yeah, and now it's game over, and I'm really close to 15 minutes, so I decided to hang up my head at this point. So hopefully we'll see it in week 2. I thank everyone for watching. It was a nice little playthrough to get through Contra again. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in week 2, whatever that has in store for us. Fresno, you sneaky bastard. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then.